Hello, everybody, and today we have this series of lessons from NCERT English textbook. We also have supplementary readers. So we have done the poems, and this is the lessons of the English NCERT 10th class lessons from the textbook. And we also have the English NCERT supplementary reader. So there are three playlists: supplementary reader stories, lessons, textbook lessons, poems, and we also have grammar. So these are the four playlists which we'll have in this channel. Okay. So in this series, we have the first lesson. We are starting the first lesson. It is called A Letter to God by G.L. Fuen Fuen Fuenles, Fuenless, I should say. Okay. I'm not sure whether the pronunciation is correct. And we'll start the story. It's a very beautiful story. It's a story on innocence. Let's start. And I will do it like a lesson totally without a break. So it might be long. This video could be long, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible. Just relax and enjoy the story like a class. The house, the only one in the entire valley. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. Crest means top. Sat. See the lovely language. Sat on the crest height of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn, corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. Dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, rain. Downpour means rain, or at least a shower. Downpour means heavy rain, shower means light rain. Throughout the morning, Lencho, Lencho, there's a character who knew his fields intimately, very personally, had done nothing else throughout the day. Throughout the morning, sorry. Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Now I think you got the first paragraph very beautifully, and I'm sure you enjoyed it. Now let's repeat the enjoyment. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of the hill. You should almost memorize the words. From that height, one could see the river and the field, and the field of ripe. It has grown corn, corn, dotted dots with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. See how the word got repeated, memorized almost with understanding. Memorization plus understanding is the reason why good readers who study their books have great feeling, great knowledge also. That is the secret I'm sharing. This is how NCERT books, school books must be read, every subject. Now, see, I read three times, third time. The house, the only one in the entire valley. Now you know all the words, and you can see the picture also. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. Harvest. Only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. See, this is reading, this is study. Now we got it. Who will miss this? And already we have completed 4 minutes. Let it take time. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So when I'm because I'm already recording, you can see the recording 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. But I've given you a sample of the first paragraph read many times so that you will understand, feel, and be motivated to reach this highest level of study. Read the word by word, get the feeling, get the meaning, get the picture, suck out all the meaning from it. You know, that is the way. And keep on doing it. And do it. What's the point of getting a skill? And do it. Then go ahead and finish the 100 books. The great 100 books. That's it. then write, then apply all your life. That is our educational vision and mission. Now we go on. Now we are really going to get some. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing. Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called out to them all, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal. It was during the meal that just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. How beautifully English is written. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds, mountains of clouds, he's saying, could be seen approaching. We miss this, if we don't read carefully. The air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. They're new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces, and the little ones are fives." With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. I repeat this sentence. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly, a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Frozen pearls. Hailstones started coming. It's really getting bad now. It's really getting bad now. Exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white, as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts, Locusts, plague of locusts would have left more than this. The whole hail has been nothing. Locusts would have been better. This year we will have no corn." That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, alone, solitary means alone, house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope. One hope was there. Help from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through that night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. In one's conscience, also God sees. Lencho was an ox of a man, like an ox he was, working like an animal in the fields. But still, he knew how to write. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. God, he wrote, "If you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again, and to live until the crop comes because the hailstorm. He wrote to God because the hailstorm dot dot dot, which means he wrote that. He wrote to God inverted commas on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled, went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postmaster, amiable, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. Broke out laughing. Broke out is an expression. You started laughing. But almost immediately, he broke out laughing, but almost immediately sensitive. He turned serious and, tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter." Starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. you know, in order not to shake, sorry. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. Something little more than half, maybe 55, 60. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as signature: God. Nothing more. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment, satisfaction of a man who has performed a good deed, has done a good deed, looked on from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise. What a innocent man he was on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake. Nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. On the public writing table, he started to write. With much wrinkling of his brow, caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went up to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. With a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. It said, this is a very beautiful story actually. It said, of innocence, of faith. It said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest since I need it very much. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks, Lencho. What can be a funnier story, a more touching story than this, you tell me? A man who is so innocent, yet so much faith he has in God. God will do something. And people who have faith are like that. So he has taken that aspect. He has taken people's aspect, people's generosity, charity. He's put it all together. Much more is there. And the way he wrote, so beautiful. This is good writing. This is great literature. Okay. Now what you should do, you should see this video 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. Then give a gap and read the whole lesson by your own self. Because every word you know. And suck out everything in it. And of course, when you go to the exam hall, you'll crack it. This is the way you should combine the depth of subject to the exam and develop your career to the limit. Anyway, this is lesson 1 completed. In the next video, we'll go to lesson 2, and this is a playlist of lessons from textbook. Poems we have done. Then we'll have supplementary reader, and we'll also have grammar. Thank you so much.